Hello again, Ian Stookie with Mastermind Games, back for more Malifaux, and this time Seishin from the Resurrectionists faction. So I'm doing something similar to what I did with the Onryo and Lost Love. Last couple of videos I'm going to try for that translucent look, so matte white. Again, when I assembled and primed them, which was forever ago, I didn't necessarily have a clear idea on how I was going to paint them, so it was kind of a last minute thing. And there are 5 different sculpts. These are minor spirits, not even a fragment of a full soul. That would barely qualify as a fragment of a full soul, that are very easy to summon and are very expendable. They are a limit of 5, and in second edition, they were split up between Kirai's core box and a box packed with a Datsueba, which is up next, I think. So I think they're going to be packed differently in 3rd edition now. And apply that to the rest. When it dries, I can move on. So back in a little bit here. Alright, that white's still drying. I'm going to do the stonework with the uniform gray. Which is just about cached. Well, that might be all I get out of it, but that also might be enough to do what I need to do. And I'm keeping my brush moist, but not too wet. I'm using just enough water to thin the paint, basically. Just going to go around that base, being real careful where these Seishin touches. Now, I'm doing this before I start applying lighting effects, because these things seem to be phasing in, out, and through the stone, so if some of their coloration gets onto there from the lighting effects I do, that could help sell the illusion. Alright, apply to the rest, let that all dry up, and move on. Alright, things are dry enough to move on. Vampire Red. Well, this might be the last hurrah for this bottle. Okay. Thinning out with 1 part water to 1 part paint into a wash. Just doing the interior of the mouths here, where applicable, as well as any tongues that may or may not be sticking out. Okay, apply that to the rest, and I think I can move on to another color. Alright, next I'm going to try Creamy Ivory 09144. This one's almost out too. Okay, that was lovely is the word I'll use. Thin it out. Carefully try to get this on teeth. And horns where I see them. These could be ears as well. I think I'm going to guess these are horns here. Taking an educated guess on that. Alright, apply that to the rest, let it dry, and move on. Okay, the wind's picking up enough. It's starting to move things around inside my condo. Pale green 09012. So I realized after I started, this color scheme has a lot in common with the dragon from the Miyazaki movie Spirited Away. So, alright, 1 part water, 1 part paint. Still going for that translucent look there. And this is going to go on the beards and hair. I suppose the hair on the dragon Spirited Away was more blue-green than this, but this works fine as well. This works fine. I'll absorb some of that. Okay, it's not bad. Apply that to the rest and then move on. Okay. Ghost White 09063. So after this will be shading on the base and figuring out something to do with the eyes. I'm not certain yet. And again, 1 part water, 1 part paint. This is an off-white, so it's not quite the same as what I used on the base coat. And it's kind of almost a really light blue-gray. I'm going to use that seam as a guide here. Go around and give myself a nice solid coat. Let it flow all around. There's a storm going on, which, among other things, for some reason, everything seems to get loud on it when I get one of those, but whatever. Okay. It's a nice solid coat. Let that dry completely, and then, apply the rest, let it all dry up, and I can move on. Okay. Sparkling blue. Decided on this for the eye color. I'm going to use this twice, but try a brush here. Still doing this as a lighting effect, so thinning it out with 1 part water, 1 part paint. Carefully fill that in. Going to apply to the rest, and then come right back. Alright. Stormy Gray 09088. Thin that out, and I'm going to shade the stonework with this. So something in a slight blue tint to this. I'm not sure where it's coming from. It might be the water. It might be on my palette. I don't know. You know what? I'm going to roll with it. It's fine. Alright. Apply that to the rest. let it dry completely, and I can move on and start to wrap up. Alright, time to highlight, and for that I'm going to use sparkling blue again. Yeah, my program is really acting up today, so I'm just going to have to keep a sharp eye on it. I'd change programs, but every other thing I could find is rated exactly the same as the one I have, so it's kind of, you know, straight paint, no water, rubbing most of it out on a paper towel so it looks like there's nothing left, and lightly dusting, so just like with Lost Love, just using the one color on all of it. Going against ridges and raised areas here. Well, like Lost Love and Yanryo. And hoping that gives a kind of ephemeral quality. I don't know how, brush up a little bit. Kinda works. So this still needs some tweaking on this method, but apply to the rest and move on. Alright, Misty Gray 09090. This is the last actual highlight. Well, this was a partial success. I think it worked out better on the Onryo than it did on the Seishin, but still worth the experiment. They don't look too bad. Just lightly dusting the base, the stonework there. Alright, apply to the rest, move on. Just about done. Alright. Second to last, well, technically third from last. Last step is spraying it with a varnish to seal the paint job, and I can't do that on camera, but Pure Black 09037. Just going to use this and line the base. Flathead brush works best for this, at least in my experience. Okay, apply that to the rest, let all of this dry completely, then I can do the very last step I'm able to do on camera. Alright, time to wrap up, and I got a lawnmower going outside, wonderful. Alright, matte white, I want to get this done now, and all I'm going to do here is just number them so that I can clearly tell them apart in a game. It's just kind of a backup. The card art is pretty detailed, but if you're not painting exactly like the card, and you're, that's what I'm looking for. So just Roman numerals 1, 2, 3. So if you're not painting exactly like the card, and if you have older sculpts, and then 4, then it can be a little trickier to tell. And 5. With this, I just have to write a number on the card over the protective sleeve I put them in, and then just match the number to the, and just match the numbers. That's all there is to it. I'm overcomplicating it. And so there we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And Seishin from the Resurrectionists faction of Malifaux. Well, weird luck with bad timing today, but Datsueba is next. Until then, I am Ian Stuckey with Mastermind Games, signing out.